In Salesian schools, Ruah has become a standout acronym, dwarfing the short-term importance of thousands of educational acronyms that often make us educators unintelligible to normal people. Ruah stands out because it is a word in itself, naming a core experience of being human. Ruah names the personal, sacred, relational space which is at the heart of all our education as Salesians. Ruah means breath in Hebrew, and it sounds like what it is. Ruah. In Arabic the word is Ruh. In Egyptian religions it's Ka. And in the Sanskrit word prana we hear the word breath for the Hindu religions. Whatever our spiritual background may be, Ruah reminds us to breathe, to stay in touch with that inner life force that breath gives us. So are you holding your breath? Breathing fast? Gasping for air? Is your breathing shallow or relaxed? How are you breathing right now? Ruah takes you into a quick scan of your inner life and your journey through a busy and often noisy day in school. You don't need to change your breathing, but just notice it. Ruah and your breath is your daily heart monitor as you work, relate, and rest. Ruah tells us when joy and peace are at home inside us. It tracks the way that anxiety or anger have filled us up and squeezed the life out of us. It tells us how optimism and pessimism are balanced within us and when our energy needs topping up. Ruah connects us to life, to creation, to people, and to ourselves. We breathe our connections with nature, with friends, and with our duties in school. To be really alive, we need to breathe in and then let go of that air. We do that 20,000 times a day, and 20% of that breath energy goes to our brain. Ruah reminds us that we have to receive and to give in order to be alive. We cannot give what we have not got. We cannot breathe out unless we have first breathed in. Our whole life, 20,000 times a day, is a rhythm of receiving and giving. It's a flow of air and a flow of energy in school. Just as a slot machine cannot pay out what is not received, so we cannot give constantly to others without becoming bankrupt. Ruah reminds us that we must also receive, not just breathe, but also receive energy, affirmation, correction, kindness, and recognition. Our school community is also breathing, giving, and receiving life. It has its own Ruah, a life-giving pattern of selfless sharing, of learning and care multiplied millions of times every day in every school. That collective Ruah is sometimes described as the school ethos or charism. It's elusive, it's inspiring, and usually communicated in the ordinary exchanges of school life. At the school level, Ruah reminds us of our interdependence as a community. Who I am and how I am is breathed in by others during the day. We share more than the same air. We exchange emotions, pick up tensions. We spread optimism or disappointment, kindness or coldness, in complex patterns through a normal day. Ruah reminds us to make those exchanges honest and life-giving for all. Ruah helps us to take respect, understanding, affection and humour into our daily work, so that we can breathe life into young people and into colleagues. But it also reminds us to draw on those qualities in others in order to live in that mysterious flow of life that Christians call the Spirit. All religious traditions honour this flow of life as breath, something that is part of us but never fully grasped or understood. The Holy Quran describes the evening as the earth breathing out, and the dawn as the earth breathing in. St. Paul describes this mystery as something in which we live and move and have our being. This Ruah awareness is pre-religious, but it needs language and it needs tradition, the tradition of religion, in order to keep it in focus in a school community over time. Ruah needs simple practices and symbols that are shared in our school community in a way that points to this deep personal experience of being alive. It highlights the process of self-sacrifice and being brought to life in each of those 20,000 breaths. It echoes the daily process of dying and rising at the heart of the gospel. So when we talk about Ruah as an acronym of respect, understanding, affection, and humour, we are saying that those are the outward signs of a deep inner reality moving between people in the school community. These 4 words are almost sacramental, opening up the deeper mystery unfolding in ordinary lives. They point to the ways in which our school can be on the road to holiness before a prayer is even said or a Mass celebrated. So, here are some questions for you to ponder. How have you experienced the spirit of your school? What stories could you tell about that personal experience? Which pupils breathe life into you as an educator? How do they do that? Where or with whom do you find space to express your own dependence in your role in school? In other words, who guides, who corrects, who supports, who affirms and challenges you in your school community? Where in an ordinary school day do you find room to breathe? Have you ever tried to speak to your inner self, or be still enough to let that Ruah, that spirit, speak within you?